Hey everyone, Master Griff here. Aim assist is a contentious topic, as we all know. We're not going to get into the debates or anything. We're going to just focus on like facts, look at video clips, and kind of explain a little bit about aim assist. And regardless of if you're a mouse and keyboard player for 10 years, or if you're like me, a controller player for 20 years, I'm going to show you a side of aim assist that you've never seen before, and it's absolutely going to blow your mind. So I modified Apex's aim assist code. I cranked up the values to 100%. This makes you track the enemies absolutely perfectly. Most importantly, it really exposes how a controller's aim assist works in Apex Legends. I'll show you the results later in the video. Really quick, be sure to tap those magic buttons if you learned something new, or even share this with someone who might find this interesting. Alright, so let's dive into the basics of aim assist. There is a bubble around every enemy, and when your reticle, that's the blue thing in the center of the screen, your aiming reticle, when that hits the bubble, aim assist is enabled. It doesn't matter if it's touching the legend or not, it's the bubble that matters. So you can kind of see it engage and disengage. So you can think of aim assist not as a magnet, but as a flat surface that your aiming reticle lands on, except that the flat surface only has a percentage of stickiness to it. So you can kind of see it happen right there. It doesn't matter about the legend itself. That's pretty irrelevant. Also, aim assist doesn't aim for the head or any particular body part. It just tries to stay where your aiming reticle landed on. And I'll show a little bit more later in the video. You are still responsible for aiming. Aim assist just helps to track where your reticle is in relation to the enemy, or at least the enemy's bubble. So if the enemy moves left, obviously the aim assist bubble moves left with them. The reticle also moves left with them, up to a certain percentage, depending on if you're on PC controller or just console. Aim assist also disengages under 3 meters. So if you're up really close with an enemy, there is no aim assist here. But after 3 meters, there it is, aim assist is enabled. And also, aim assist, the greater the distance, the less aim assist or effect it's going to have. So you can see it still has some effect, there's still some stickiness to it, but it doesn't feel, it might technically, in the code be the same aim assist amount, but it doesn't feel as much. I think that's the most important part. The other thing too is that aim assist actually requires some sort of input from the controller, whether that be a movement on your left joystick or aiming with your right thumbstick. It doesn't help at all with recoil control at all. So you're still responsible for aiming, on the legend. So it might pull with a bubble, but you could still be aiming, over here. But yeah, the recoil control, you still have to control that. There's absolutely none. There's also no bullet magnetism, as you can see there. So I didn't do anything with my right thumbstick, I just simply pulled the trigger. Doesn't do anything with recoil control. Okay, now there are 2 values in Apex Legends for the aim assist. There is 0.6 for console controller, which essentially means 60%. Meaning the aim assist will help you out 60% of, if you are on the aim assist bubble, you have to supply 40%. If this character moves to the left, aim assist is going to help you out 60% of that movement. You'll have to supply 40% of that movement. And there is 0.4 for PC controller. Aim assist is going to help you 40%. You're going to have to supply 60% of the movement to the left. So why is there a difference? This is a great question, and probably the biggest thing that blows people's minds, that there's a difference between console controller and PC controller. I have no idea why exactly there's a difference, but one speculation of mine is that Apex Legends never initially intended to have crossplay and console at all. They've already stated that cross progression, meaning one account but playing and progressing on multiple platforms, wasn't initially planned for. So it makes sense that they didn't plan for console players to even play with PC players at all. In my personal opinion, the value should be the same across the board for both PC controller players and console players, or at the very least an automatic requirement to downgrade the aim assist from default to PC when playing console in PC lobbies. There are a lot of suggestions on what to do with this. Maybe you think it's fine that console players have higher aim assist when playing in PC lobbies. Just please let me know what you think and just leave a comment down below. But if you're a console player, I just highly recommend you try out the PC target compensation style. This changes your value from 0.6 aim assist down to 0.4 aim assist. And again, that's 40%, meaning you have to supply 60% of the movement. And if you play Apex at all with a controller, whether it be on PC or console, there's also a setting to disable it. You'll have to use advanced look controls. If you're not already using this, I'd recommend you use it, but it's kind of a personal preference. But you can do target compensation right here. This will actually disable aim assist on controller. So if we turn that off, go back out, we're moving around, we have no aim assist anymore on controller. We turn it back on. I'm going to put this back on default. There is aim assist for console. And again, I'll actually show you the quick version of PC. You can see it's just a little bit less. Just a little bit less. And I'll change that back. And here I'm going to just show a side-by-side comparison of PC controller versus console controller. You can just see the minor difference between the two. Okay, now what we're doing is using a modded version of Apex to actually change these values from 40% or 60% all the way and cranking it up to 100%. Now before I show you these clips, I need to preface these with some disclaimers. These are not actually in the game. These do not exist in the real game at all. These are modified versions of Apex. While they still use the same exact code that the real version of Apex is using, they're custom servers. They're not real Apex servers. They're basically modified versions of Apex, and you can't change these values without being banned at all. So the entire purpose of this was just to learn a little bit more about aim assist. I just wanted to show an example of what aim assist would be taken to the extreme. And if you're interested in the modded version of Apex, it's called R5 Reloaded, and I'll just leave a link in the description of the video below. Okay, so this is a configuration file of modded Apex, and what we're doing is changing the 0.4 value to 1, and this other value also to 1. So this is again changing the aim assist and cranking it all the way up to 100%. Okay, I'm trying to aim on this guy on the far side. Oh. Okay. Okay, what I'm going to try to do is... Okay, yeah. What I'm trying to do is just use the right joystick to center my reticle on the enemy's hitbox, and then trying to let it fully aim for me, by 100% tracking them. Okay, we'll see if we can get a good example of me just circling a guy here. See if I'm just... You can see that it disengaged after 3 meters. I was too close, so it just disengaged. But I'm just dancing around this guy. I'm trying not to use my right thumbstick. I'm just trying to use it to center it on the enemy character's, aim assist bubble. And you can see my left hand, or my right hand. I'm just trying to keep it in the center. Oh, I moved too close. But yeah, just remember that this is a modified version of Apex. It still uses Apex's core functionality for the controller aim assist. And you can see I'm not touching I'm not touching the joystick at all, and it's essentially tracking that aim assist bubble that hovers around that character. A few times I'll have to do some minor tweaks just to make sure that it's still on the aim assist bubble. Again, I changed the values all the way up, cranked them to 100%. This is just showcasing kind of the extremes of what aim assist can do. You can see I'm just adjusting the thumbstick to get centered on the character. Even if my aim reticle is not on the character, maybe it's to the right of the character, it's still on the aim assist invisible bubble that hovers around that legend. And so it'll still track it. You can kind of see it a little bit, like right there. It's tracking just behind him. But when I need to, I'll just do some minor adjustments to keep it centered on the character. And here's another one. I'm just circling around the character. You can see it disengages if it's under 3 meters. And there's this minor strange thing that I noticed, that it starts to aim upwards when I move forwards. I don't know if that's on purpose, but I'm trying to not move as much as possible. But you can see my aimer, or aim reticle, just aim up. And you can kind of see it disengage after 3 meters again. But yeah, I'm not touching that right thumbstick at all. You can see on the left side of the screen. I'm just trying to keep it centered of the enemy character. And again, this is not on live Apex servers. This is actually hosted on my machine right now. You can see that disengagement again, 3 meters. You can kind of see when it starts to engage that aim assist bubble. It's hard to tell exactly where it is, but and I'm trying not to touch that right thumbstick at all. I'm trying to let the aim assist do the work at 100%. You can see my thumbstick, I'm not touching it. Now for some lingering questions, is aim assist fair? I did show 100% of the aim assist value, but that's not the reality. That's not what we're actually playing with. What we're playing with is, 40% to 60% of that value. And whether or not this is fair, this is kind of out of the scope of this video. But yeah, if you have any questions or comments, just leave them in the comment section below. But if you found this video to be at all helpful or useful and informational, definitely leave a like. I'll see you in the next one.